looks like. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Well, welcome to our weekly live training where we talk about how to train smart, use your time wisely, not get hurt, qualify for top races, and win
while maintaining life balance.
My name is Coach Shangri-La. I'm a two-time triathlon Guinness World Record holder, best-selling author, motivational speaker, and high-performance triathlon and endurance coach. We also have here Coach Vineta. Well,
Hi.
Today we are very excited because we're going to talk about finishing your first 70.3. Who's ready for this?
I am ready.
Let me show you what we're going to talk about. Here you go. It's never too late. First half Ironman in your 60s. All right. If you're not 60 or 50s, 40s, you are in this too. You're going to learn a lot because we're going to talk about it. Because especially if you have not done, for example, let's just say if you have not done any triathlon, okay, this is for you definitely. If you've done your sprint, but not done Olympic, you're going to get a lot here too. Because our special guest had done sprint only.
Yes.
Sprint only. But she said, like, you know what? I'm turning 60s. I want my 60th year to be amazing. And she said, like, let's do this. All right. Well, finish your first half Ironman despite being a slow swimmer. Or for you, if you're a slow runner, slow cyclist, you can also get a lot of input today as well. All right. Or if you have a long break from swimming, cycling, or running, okay. Who here has a long break? Could be years, months. All right. Stick with it. Okay. Stick to this because you're going to learn a lot of like, how can you get back to the training? Crazy work schedule. Okay. And just 4.5 months to train. Okay. So how do we do this? When you're in your 60s or 50s even, you may be starting to feel something like, okay, my body is not recovering fast. Or my body is feeling something that I used to not feel before when I was younger.
I kind of need to do like 2 training days and then I need a 1 day off and then I can do another 2 training days. Yeah. Like the rest periods are longer,
right? Because you want to make sure you don't get hurt. Well, today we're going to talk about training while staying injury-free. Insights into specific strategies that led a first-time half Ironman success with sub 8-hour finish on the first try. How cool is that? Who wants that?
Sub 8? Super cool.
Yeah, right?
Then swim endurance, from needing to stop every 50 yards. That's where we started out just 4 months ago. And then swimming that 1.2 miles in open water, nonstop. And getting a PR on it.
Personal record. Cool. Well, here you go. 52, 53. If you are new to half Ironman, the cutoff time is 1 hour and 10 minutes. And what's heartbreaking about it, that's why that 1 hour 10 is so popular in 70.3, because if you don't meet the cutoff time, like no bike, no run, they're going to pull you off unless you snuck through.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. But they're going to catch you because they're looking for, but yeah, so that is the number that you need to really hit. Okay. But our special guest here got a personal record, fastest open water swim, 1.2 mile swim, 52:53.
Impressive.
That's impressive, right? And actually, what we have not add here, let me see here. So this one is swim endurance. And I did talk about, what about long break from swimming, cycling, and running? Who here, you may have a bike, but you have not touched it. Or you probably bought a trainer or a spin bike, but you haven't not touched it. For some reason, you just got busy or you got no interest. You did not sign up for triathlon, so why bike? Okay.
Or you got into the technical gremlins and you can't set it up properly.
Yeah, and then it's still in the box. I don't know. Who here is that? Okay. Or you could be a runner, but then, well, I don't have a race. I'll just run, jog, hike here and there. I'm healthy. I'm looking fit. I'm good. I am busy. Right? We got several reasons. I am busy. because we are. Why do we add 3 sports? I mean, who does that? I mean, one sport is already hard, and then you add 3 sports. Anyone can relate here? Like the logic, isn't it making sense?
Yeah.
Right? All right.
So plan for success, integrating the half Ironman training regimen into a demanding schedule.
Yeah. How do we do that? What if you, you're early at work, you're still at work past 6 p.m., and then you get up again to do the same thing, and then get up and you're responsible of your team and you have to train. You have to make sure you take care of yourself. All right. Overcoming challenges, overcoming lack of time, boredom, on the bike. It's too long. Why am I doing this one? What did I sign up for? Glitches with technology. You just want to train, but then this technology is not cooperating. What are you going to do? Now the time runs out. This is the only time that you had.
Yeah, there's no delays.
How
you only have 4
how
months.
can you keep yourself sane? All right, especially when you sign up for a half Ironman within just 4 months and you got all these challenges, right? Why sign up? Well, because that's what we're gonna find out. How, if you're the type of person or an individual who's really like, I really want to at least get to the 70.3, maybe not full Ironman, but at least 70.3 because I want to experience this. It's kind of cool. What do they do there? All right. So today you're gonna learn a lot. Get your pen and paper. Okay. This one is for those who wants to finish their first half Ironman, those who are worried about the swim start, those who are worried about the cutoff times, or maybe you don't know that there's a cutoff time. So that's a big problem because that was me.
News.
That was me.
There's several.
Yeah, so there's several cutoff time, and that's where you calculate. You have to be training, so that you can make sure you can finish strong. All right. Okay, and this is also for people who are very busy. Okay, and you really want it, but you're very busy. It's like you want it so bad, but then there's a but. What's your but? Oh no, that's not a good question. What's your challenge? My God, what kind of question is that? B.
All right.
All right.
All right. So for those who are joining us live, put hashtag live so we can see you. And then for those who are looking at this as a replay, put hashtag replay so we can say hi to you guys.
Yes, because after this one, what we're gonna do is also go back and then have a communication with you. Just just type it up. So say, let me see. So what Vinetta's gonna do, like as of right now, she's actually looking on the other computer. So because she's reading the live stream, and so she can read the questions. This is your training. This is your training. This is your opportunity to ask. All right. And we'll do our best to answer your questions. And if we run out of time, we'll just go back to it later. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
So
Let me welcome the people I see joining us live here today. Hi, Brian. Hi, Sarah.
hello.
Hi, Pamela. Good to have you, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Mark is here. Peter's here. James.
Got a lot of
Sharon,
people.
Lisa. Welcome, everybody.
Did you all sign up for 70.3? If not, you're gonna end up being so motivated, inspired today. You're gonna learn a lot, really answer your questions. Okay. Well, let's not wait any further. Let's welcome our special guest who just turned 60 in December, Barbara from Texas. Barbara, welcome. We are so happy to have you here. I know you're very busy. You got home just for this one, so we appreciate your time. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate
So
being.
it looks like you are in your RV, your humble home.
It's amazing.
And
you guys are going to be amazed when you hear the story of how she's able to make this happen.
Because part of the challenges that she had to go through is she moved to her RV during the 4-month period. All right. That's just one of those that we're going to talk about today. What if you got a lot of moving parts? Okay. Well, I want to congratulate you, Barbara, for an amazing race.
Thank you.
First 70.3 with only 4 months of training, and you got swim PR 7:52. And at the time, 2 weeks prior, that 70.3, you did your first ever Olympic triathlon.
I did in a very in the hills of Texas, north of where I'm at. It was a very hilly course, so that was also interesting.
Yeah. So let me understand. So are you saying that you signed up for the 70.3? I know you finished a sprint. How many sprint did you finish before you sign up for the 70.3?
I think in 2021 or maybe 2022, I did one sprint in Williamsburg. It was a kind of an unofficial small group. I don't know how many people were there, but it was kind of a casual sprint that I just did in the water near Williamsburg.
So one sprint, 2022. And then after that, what happened? No more bye-bye triathlon. You didn't like it? How was it for you?
No, I just I have my job kind of took over a lot of my life, honestly, and I just didn't train. I didn't have necessarily a next goal. I'm very goal oriented, so that not having something to focus on, I focused on work. And so I pretty much stopped running, I wasn't doing anything other than occasionally maybe going for a hike or something like that. But.
Gotcha. So by the way, if you Barbara works in NASA. She works long hours. She's an engineer. She's the head of the department. We talk a lot about numbers during the training. Our brain just, because I'm an engineer myself. But yeah, so like she worked long hours. And then now you sign up for 70.3. What got you to signing up? What is that? Does that NASA?
That looks really
Earth Orbit
cool.
Development Program, NASA. Is that your? I'm not gonna ask a stupid question. Tell me more about that.
So briefly, because I know that's not why people are here. So it's the Commercial Low Earth Orbit Development Program. It's basically NASA's working with the commercial industry in order to develop the market for commercial space stations, so that when the International Space Station retires, we have an opportunity to partner with the industry and continue on in low Earth orbit.
Wow, damn, heavy stuff. My triathlon mindset cannot.
Literally rocket science. There you go. There you go. The only time you would ever say that.
All right. Give me a channel switch triathlon. All right. So
I want to know. Walk us through what was going on with your training when we first talked in like mid-November, when you had decided and signed up.
Yes.
So she actually did not sign up yet. She just, I think I want to do a 70.3 when she talked to us. She has not signed up yet.
So what was happening with the training when we spoke?
That was like around November.
There was none.
Yeah. It was just walk. She walks.
I was just pretty much working. I mean, I'm generally fit, right? So I mean, I do some hiking and kayaking, and those kind of things. And I work, I'm running around a lot, but really I had not had an opportunity. So I was actually not in that great a shape when I started in like December timeframe.
Well, I asked you about your bike. You did have a bike.
I had the bike and trainer that I had for that sprint a couple years earlier.
So that was 2022. So did you use it in between, or it was just sitting around?
I would take a couple rides when I was living in Virginia. I would get on the rails for trails, and ride it around.
Awesome. How about the trainer?
Used it a little bit, not very much. Didn't really without having a workout on it. It just was in dust, collecting dust.
Gotcha. Ooh, okay. Anyone else here have all like those equipment is just sitting there?
Treadmill.
Or maybe
the treadmill that collects dust.
Or you got so many bikes you don't know what to do with it because you got no race. You keep using one bike.
Yes, there's two.
All right, yeah, now you got two bikes. Because guess what? Today, like I see her Strava right after the 70.3. I'm like, I thought, Barbara, you just want to check off the bucket, and I see you riding your bikes. Now you talk about swimming, so she's actually doing still. She got the bug. All right. So so like before you reach out to us, it's more of like the walking, hiking, jog here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, what drove you to want to do the half Ironman? Like, what was it?
It's hard. I mean, and that's actually, I mean, it sounds silly, but I like to do things that push me outside my comfort zone. And it's also a good distraction. It gives me something to focus on and get, when things are getting stressful at work, I like the opportunity to kind of like think about something else. So and it helps me stay in shape because I really want to be hiking in the rainforests of, Australia when I'm in my 70s or whatever. So I still have mountains to climb.
that is awesome.
Nice.
Who here have the same, like I like hard stuff and I want to do this when I turn 70. Yeah.
Yes, let's put it in the comments. What's your big bucket list item?
And why? Or like, like, did you sign up for a race? Why did you do it? My friend told me. All my friends are doing it. I should do it. Okay.
But I mean, it's been hard for you to make the time for these things. So what made this the right time that you decided, like, I'm going to do it this year?
Well, I mean, probably simply, the thought of turning 60 is to me a little bit shocking still. There's actually there's a lot of people that don't know how old I am because I very rarely admit it.
Sorry, it was a secret.
On this site, no, it's like, but and anybody who followed my race now knows because I said most people that before until they followed me, they're like, oh, you must have signed, but yeah, no, it's just something, I mean, that I thought would be really cool to do, and I felt like I had the capacity if I was willing to put some time into it that I could achieve it.
Awesome. All right.
With the help of my amazing coaches, I will say this is not something I signed off and felt it was no intention of me signing up to do this and then trying to train myself. It wasn't going to happen.
Well,
I don't know what I was doing, and I wouldn't have tried something that would just have put me in a position of risk.
Gotcha.
So it was important for you to not put yourself at too high of a risk with that.
I mean, I'll jump out of planes. Don't get me wrong. I like risk, but I'll measure what I'm doing and balance. So it's all considered risk and making sure I'm meeting it to the greatest extent possible.
Okay. All right.
I sound like sorry.
No, I do think it makes sense. So like let me see. So how many hours do you work? Like average?
55, something like that. 55 or 60 some weeks.
Okay. So is that 6 days or 5 days?
Well, it's whatever it takes, depending on what's going on. It varies.
So it's about 11 hours, 11-ish hours. And that's like a common normal to you, usually?
Yeah.
Damn, that's long.
So like around what time are you done with work? 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 8?
Well, I usually start work at 6:30, which is why my workouts were normally in the evening. So because I'm getting up at 5 to get ready to go to work. So I know I could get up at 4 like some people, or 3:30, but yeah. So I worked 6:30 and then I would work till like 5 or 6 or whatever, depending.
Okay. Got you. And then by then you still have an energy to work out. Like how's your energy?
It was fine. I guess I don't think about it. There were a lot of times that I will, under the list of things that could do better, it was either work out or eat, and so I worked out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you, like when you start the swimming, I look and ask you to like swim, and it was, you're having struggle. You can only swim 50 yards at a time, which is, I do think it makes sense because the last swim that you did was 2 years ago, which was the sprint. Is that right?
That's
so like,
right.
So you never really went to, so like, I know you were cycling or like running, but the swimming was not really in the mix during that 2 years. So not at all.
Couple of years even. No.
Okay. Well, I think swimming 50 yards at a time is already good. And then you still signed up for 70.3. How did
Oh.
that feel when you sign up and then you already signed up and then, like I had you swim and you were stopping 50 yards at a time. How did that feel? Did that worry you?
Well, yeah, my swimming still has a long way to go, but yeah, I mean, I definitely, it took a long time before I felt like I was gonna make it. As I progressed a little bit, I think I got to that point where I knew I could finish it and I had the stamina to finish it. Then it became an issue of my speed of my swim more than anything.
You were able to build your endurance.
Yes, and then you also had another challenge, which is when you're training for these spring races, you have to train through the winter. That means that you don't have access to open water.
Yes.
Right.
Most of the training time.
Yeah. And she actually never had an open water since 2022.
Yeah,
And then
one practice and then the actual event, and I think the water was so shallow during the event, I was walking in muck most of the time. I didn't actually really swim it.
yeah, so that was another challenge. And in terms of bike, like, do you happen to know how long or like what's your longest ride? Just riding, and I think it was more of casual, right?
Well, I mean, I rode a trip in Virginia that was 60 miles, but it was it was like stopping, at the stop signs, and it was just kind of like my pace. It was like 11 miles per hour. Just kind
one of those. Okay, all right, okay. Is that okay? So, there's the busy time, the challenge on lack of experience, so having only sprint, and then the swim as the as the weakest. Anyone here? What's your weakest sport? Is it swim, bike, or run? I want to know. Put it under the comment. I want to know what's your favorite. What's your favorite? What is the sport that you dread? You're like, it's a necessary evil. You just gotta do it.
And which one's the most boring? Because I think I know that Barbara was having trouble with the bike at one point. It's like too long.
Tell me more. Is it because of the trainer?
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of it. I like to run outside, ride outside. If I'm gonna, I'm generally staring ahead, if I would watch like a movie, my pace you could tell I was just, I'd start going mind dead, and I'd lose my cadence or I'd lose my pace.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Ironically, for the events, my swim may have been my, maybe my worst. I think I was bad in all of them. My swim was the most enjoyable part of my training, oddly enough.
You were more, you think is it because maybe you're more relaxed because you're in the water, you're in the zen? Have you thought of it at all?
I don't know. I guess in some respects, when I talk about the mindlessness, like, other than I did, my pace also would change if I started like losing my focus of what I was trying to do. But I didn't have to worry. I just knew I was going wall to wall. I didn't trip over anything. I didn't,
Yeah.
But
so Jeffrey says big bike is the favorite and run is the weakest. And then Sean says favorite is the bike and swim is the weakest, but getting confident on running, but it's boring.
Boring, yeah, especially like when it gets longer. I
need music.
What were you gonna say, Barbara?
Music. It was that 70.3, that one of the things, like not being able to have any music, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you can't. Not on Ironman, you can't.
Yeah.
So going back to when you decided that I need some help with this big goal that I set for myself, what is it about us that when you talk to us that you were like, okay, these are the people that are going to help me? What made you want to work with us?
I think that I believe that you guys, it's not just talk, and it's, you actually demonstrate. You do these things. You do amazing things that push yourself outside your envelope, even in extremes that I can't even begin to imagine. But but I know that you've been through and you've experienced a lot of the things that you get along the way. That's kind of maybe not the same level, but similar circumstance. And so I felt like you guys could use that experience to know the pitfalls and to help me kind of navigate them.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are you referring to the Guinness or one of the other things?
Let's see. What's all 4 marathons in 4 days or something like that. I mean, it's
Five.
going to Boston, going to making it to in Kona. I mean, the some of the trail runs at the end, I'll talk to you about something like that inspiration. But I think that the things that you have like a control over your mind, and then you train your body. But I think it's combination that I admire as well, of the mental strength as well as the physical strength.
Yeah.
And it's what you guys have. I actually think that together you guys also accentuate each other's strengths and provide. We've got the technology and the support and the backing it up, and that's just amazing.
You're very good. We do compliment. She does what I don't like, and she puts it back to me on what she doesn't like.
I thought I was just like behind the scenes making things happen, but somebody sees me too.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. So like for everyone, so like strong mindset is very important. And I do think anyone who does sign up for 70.3 or even especially full Ironman, you got to have strong mindset. And then that body and then the mind has to like connect. And then the next one, last but not the least, is the heart.
Yep.
Which is very important.
Yes.
And, well, I'm glad that you saw that. I appreciate that, Barbara. I do see the same thing as for you because of during the training. Like I said, you've had so many challenges, and everyone those are just the handful challenges that she had gone through for the 4 months that she trained for the 70.3. There's a lot more, and that's why this is such a great training, because you'd be like, Barbara turned 60 and she signed up for this in 4 months. Like, what's up with her? Like, I want what she got. What does she do? Like, what is she doing in her training? What's her mindset? And right now you're already getting a lot. Okay. All right. Well, let's go into it more. Okay. So, and some of the challenges here, I think it'll be great for you guys all to hear, because you'll be like, yeah, what I'm going through is actually normal. I should just go through it. Challenges. Let's talk about the weather. Texas. Cold, the open water cold, right? Someone who has not gone to the open water, and then so basically what she had done, when it was like the cold open water is, the temperature is more manageable, it was March, and the race is within a month, so that's all she got. Okay. And then some of the times it would rain, so she gets home, it would rain, and there's no she can't go right outdoors. What's she do? Well, she goes to trainer, but then she's bored. And then the technology, goes down. So how do you mind like sharing to us, like, how do you go through this weather situation? Like it rains, or the cold open water, the wind, like what goes through your mind when you...
Well, I think there's probably I say I couldn't train. I mean, I chose sometimes not to. I did, especially in the roads around Houston. I just don't want to be on wet roads. There's enough issues in traffic and that kind of thing. So most of that time it was necessary to use the trainer. I got out occasionally when I could, but even on a good day, I have to drive to a place to find where I can bike most of the time. The running, I mean, I have run in rain, and I did sometimes, if depending on whatnot. The water I had 2 open water swims in total before the Half Ironman. I think it was 2, maybe 3, but I think it was 2. Yeah, remember that old age. But no, it was it worked out okay. I mean, I found that for me, luckily, I was very comfortable in the open water, more so in some respects. without the constraints of the pool and having to try to go back and forth every 25 yards, I actually felt it was a bit freeing.
Okay. Yeah, the open water, which is good.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So you basically just, like just get it done. Just get it done mindset. And then also prioritizing your safety.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was a cold winter, but like for Texas, everybody, I see what some people are doing right now at these other locations, some of the folks that are online today. And they just impress the heck out of me. I mean, like the determination and the conditions that people train in motivates me, because I want to be more like them.
Yeah.
You're talking about like snow, like when they're running out in snow.
And yeah, I mean, what I had to deal with weather-wise was nothing compared to the determination of some of the other fellow athletes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm sure like there's Sean there, who's in Michigan, who was running in snow. There's Jeremy, those in New York during the winter time. Who here was running in snow? Because you signed up for a 70.3 on Ironman, like the first quarter of the year. So that's one of the things that you gotta, like you want to look into, like if you're signing up, okay, I'm gonna sign up for the first quarter. Think about like, okay, well, how are you gonna train? Are you okay training during the winter? I don't think Barbara thought of that, but she's like, no, my weather's fine. I'll just get it done. I'm committed to it, right? That was the mind. I'm committed to it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there was one. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Just look at my training peaks. Basically, like in the middle of the day, I would look and go, okay, what am I doing today?
There you go. Yeah. So, you mentioned training peaks. So how did that help you in having a workout or a structured plan?
Oh, it was, I mean, priceless. I mean, it was that's what guided me. Literally, I would just look at it and sometimes laugh at how much time it was going to take, and I didn't get everything done all the time. I did my best, but I would just kind of like, okay, this is I'm biking today, so here's get home and make sure I get on it. But it was nice to be able to have it where it synced with my Garmin. Like I have Garmin Edge on the bike, and it would just cross over to my Garmin Connect, and then or the Edge, and that I have on the bike, and that was real for those things. Not to have to figure out the workout, but to have it right there. And my headphones, if I had them on, would call out what I had to do next. So
nice. Don't you like that, you guys? The technology now is so cool.
Once it's connected.
Only like a couple of years ago, this was not really happening that way.
Yeah.
But now the Garmin and the technology is telling you what to do, and you don't have to figure out all the paces, everything.
When I started 20 years ago, like I have paper. The paces
right on the hand.
Yes. Here started 20 years ago or more. Like there's no like the technology telling us what to do, but I would assume that would free up your mind then.
But like, only if you sync it. If you don't sync it, still all the same old type of training.
Yeah. So I would assume that would help your mindset in regards to not thinking too much. Right. It's not like just do. And is that what you're
exit would tell me, hey, you got to do this power for this many minutes, and just that's what you do.
Got it. And so and that's for everyone also. Like she said there, she didn't get the workout done like perfectly, but she did her best. Okay. She did her best. And that's something that I'm just gonna, like just throw it out there. And mainly because when I was doing my workouts, when I was new, I was stressing out. Like I have to be perfect. Like I have to be completed. But then once I made the Guinness World Record, when I made my Guinness World Record 2015, I realized that really the key is just do your best every single day. And your best can change, depending on your schedule. Because when I was like, oh, I did not do it perfectly, but I know I did my best. And that's what she did. She did her best. She did her best. And then when things are not, she's unsure, she asked questions. And there's more. I'm going to show to you of like, how else did she do her workouts?
Yeah, you'll have some summary at the end for those who want it kind of all in a nice page.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, there's something that I didn't know, or maybe you told me, but then there's something personal circumstance, which is you suddenly told me that you're going to move from where you're staying to the RV, which that was not unknown when we started. So everyone's just, this one is her personal thing, but mainly, you know, around February, she suddenly told me, hey coach, I'm moving my stuff from this thing to an RV. Who here likes, enjoys moving? I don't. I hate it. I hate the boxing, the cleaning up, and then unbox, and you can't find your jersey, your shorts, your shoes. It's like everywhere. And she did that. I mean, who does that? Come on. Tell me, what was that? Was that a planned one? What was that said again, Barbara?
Still some missing.
There's still some missing stuff. Yeah, it's been like 2 months already, or 3. But yeah, so like, what was that a sudden plan, or like, are you like that kind of person, like you're just able to adapt or just do things when things got thrown out at you, like in regards to like moving? Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm a nomad at heart, which is why I live in an RV, because I like to be, kind of, I in the middle of my life, I retired to travel and took 11 years away from NASA to travel the country, right? So I just do weird things like that all the time. But I'm used to, like, you know, when I packed up, it was, I wasn't happy where I was. It was a situation where the people around me, you know, were causing me grief, and it just, I knew I wanted to be able to travel again soon. So it just made sense. You just make it happen. I mean, I packed it up in a, you know, maybe a week, and kind of just moved things, but it's not the first time that,
well, so obviously I can't say no to Barbara because it's her life. But yeah, so it did kind of affect the training, because of course, like, I want her to focus on having a home, you know, and having a home. But yeah, so she was moving as well. So she, you know, as you know, she was already working 11-ish hours at work, and then suddenly there's a move, and then, you know, like, you are also training swim, bike, and run. So like, if you think about it, it was very busy weeks.
Yeah.
Yet she got the workouts, most of it done. And it's not necessarily like several hours. We still need to fit in the workout into her schedule. And the workout needs to make sense. Make sure that we're prioritizing quality over quantity. You guys heard of that? Smart training.
Without getting hurt.
Yes. Oh, thank you. My God, you know it. Yes, without getting hurt. Yes. Love it. You should be doing the training more, Barbara. You are good at this one. So yeah, so those, like, for example, I wouldn't want Barbara to be working out long if she needs to sleep. Well, yeah, she needs to sleep, not if, because she needs to sleep. She needs to sleep. So everyone, like, if you are gonna go, once you like sign up for 70.3, there's a lot of online plans there, but you really want to make sure that they fit into your schedule, wherein, you know, like, you can still do live, and still there's some flexibility there.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you just got another job.
It's hard.
Sometimes
it is hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, I mean, there were some other challenges that came up along the way. I think I remember there were some neck, knee
Sore
issues that needed to be addressed.
Yeah, so that's the usual, because she's training for 4 months and she was coming from almost no activity. So, you know, this ones are more of soreness. The lats, remember? The lats, yeah, or the deltoids.
Definitely, my swimming was really bad, obviously, and we talked, and so I was basically swimming like with one arm a lot of time, almost, because I was breathing. I wasn't swimming balanced, and and so until I learned the motion that I needed to do, I was kind of like coming around, and it was causing problems in my shoulder. So I had to learn with the exercises and modifying my swimming as I learned better and better, to improve my position in the pool and how I was swimming, and try to fix that problem. So, and a lot of lacrosse balls.
Yeah, she has a personal masseuse. The
Nice.
lacrosse ball.
So I keep saying that you fix your swim technique
At the same time,
just, you know,
following
just
the
following
workouts.
the workouts and online. Is that how it has happened?
It's getting there. I mean, I'm still thinking about, like, what I need to do, which is why I'm continuing to swim, because I think that I made a lot of progress, but I am not done yet. So
I think no one's done. I'm not done. I'm still training. We want always growth, improving, and not lose what you
Right.
got already. That's why
Yeah.
she's still swimming.
Well, I'm impressed by the improvement from the 50 yards to the 1.2 miles, and then the speed.
Yeah, let me show
there.
you. So here you go. This is where she was at. One of her swims. Okay, so this is where she's at. She said she braved the chilly weather. That was March. Remember, her race was first week of April. She only has 1 month, and this is what she's doing. Like, only 1 month. All right. I was gonna say about the wetsuit, but I'm not gonna mention that here. So yeah, so like this is her time here. 1:03:18, and her swim was 2,240. And like we mentioned earlier, the cutoff time is 1:10. This is one of her first, probably second open water. And so like if you're the athlete, well, the cutoff time is 1:10. I just finished it 22:40, and I got 1 month.
A little nervous.
But she's an overachiever. She still went for, this is actually one of their first one. She did almost 3,000. So she can go long. This is a person coming from around December, 50 yards at a time. December, January, February. So 3 months. You got yourself to swimming almost 3,000 there.
Damn.
And it's under 3 minutes per 100 yards. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
What do you think about that? You did not have any swimming for 2 years since your first sprint, only triathlon, and then now 3 months, you got almost. Were you happy about that? Oh my God, I got endurance.
Well, yeah, I just kept going. It was like I did 3 laps. I was like, well, I'm still okay. I haven't drowned yet, so I might as well keep going.
Oh yeah, and guess what? She did not just do the open water swim on that weekend. This one is again March, first week of March, just 1 month prior. She did her longest, wherein she's actually, like on it, like actually doing it. 48 miles.
48 miles outdoors.
And at the same time, 2,900 yards in open water on the same weekend. This is 1 month prior. You're on a fast track.
I think I ran like 2.5 hours that weekend.
Yes, you did. I'm sorry, I did not add that, but yes, you did. You have good memory. Yes, good stuff. Like your fitness just went up fast. Like you got the endurance, right?
Yeah, I still, I can go forever, but I need to work on the speed. But yeah, I felt like I started to feel better in that weekend, that I could kind of just do the distance. So yeah.
Did that build your confidence then? 1 month prior, somewhat.
I'm kind of generally not, I'm a confident person, I guess. So I don't know if I was worried about finishing if they didn't pull me off the course.
Right. Okay. Well, so yeah, so those are some of the things, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. So this is one of your, so you had right knee slightly sore and back, neck tired. This one is one of your long rides. You still remember this one here?
Yeah.
And that was when you did your 48 miles. So now this is what we do. So for our athletes, everyone, so what we do is that, so we give them workouts. It's customized to their schedule. And the next thing is that we'd like to hear from them, more of like a little bit of reflection of what happened. So we can really understand where they're coming from. Okay, because we do receive the data, like there is technology that just transfers, right? But that is data. It's good. We like it. You know, Barbara and I, we're both engineers. We love them, but we're still human. We like that communication. So now, so Barbara.
Yes, you can't communicate stiffness or anything else that's feeling related over technology.
Yeah. And for some others, you know, like getting the workout done, check mark, box, done, move on. But for us, no. When I say quality over quantity, well, definitely knowing how to execute the training, the workout with proper techniques so you don't get hurt, okay? And with the right intervals that's actually within, you know, like your speed, your power, right? It's not just, all right, just go run fast, okay? And also the next one is right after every workout that gets done, we want to make the most out of it. How? We want to learn from our athlete. Our athlete knows best about their body, but then, you know, they have to communicate. That's what makes it more quality. When there's the communication and there's an understanding between the coach and the athlete, and there is the problem solving and talking, and not just because if you think about it, if I saw Barbara's training peaks and or like the workouts like 48 miles, great job, yay, let's do it, you got it, right? Will be celebration and then move on for some from some programs or for some workouts. But here with us in 565 coaching, we dig into it more. All right, because we want quality. So how do we do that? So all Barbara said is more of like 2 sentences. All right. And then so she said, knee slightly sore and back of neck tired. Otherwise, feel fine, but thinking about 8 more miles of running. Okay, so now here's the communication. There's the celebration, and the next thing is actually looking into what happened. And obviously, there's the usual question, Barbara, what's the nutrition? Okay. And then did you check if your legs were parallel like crossroads in comparison to the tube of the bike? Did you get some headwinds and crosswinds? So here are the communication that we did have, but mainly what we're doing here is talking about that particular workout. She said mostly aero except when being cautious during traffic. Good job. So basically I'm checking that, you know, like, I want aero. Okay, so keep doing that. Say it again, Barbara.
Neck hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why her neck hurt as well. Okay. Because it was one of those longest. I mean, the neck is still adjusting.
And then you mentioned nutrition. Jeffrey here has a question. How important was the nutrition?
Yeah.
So nutrition is incredibly important, and I'm an incredible failure at nutrition. It's an area that I struggle with getting enough and getting the right things. It's something I still continue to get it. I was getting support for and trying to work on it, but it is important because I think that energy and level and how you do is definitely a reflection of that. But that's not something I'm very good at.
Barbara, but you've improved. Just want to let you know. Because when I first met you, you don't even drink water.
I haven't had any today.
Exactly. All right. This is something that don't do this. There should be a caption. All right. But I'm just saying, because Barbara, you've improved. Okay. I asked you, like, can you bring a bottle? Okay. And then on the triathlon 70.3, Barbara, you really need to eat and drink. And she did. She started incorporating it. She's still working on it. Just everyone else, like, you know, like they're not used to it. So, but basically here, she was saying, drank Tailwind bagel before I started. So she said it was a pain getting fluids. And then so like right here, as you can see, there's a like thread of conversation I'm not stopping until I understand more what's happening. Okay. And then what's great about it is that she's not stopping either. So it's, as you can see, it's both the athlete, the coaches, the team. And by the way, I'm not the only one who's helping her. We have a team. Okay. So I don't get all the credit, because without our team, I won't be able to handle. How did that feel for you, having someone who's very patient and talking to you? Just kidding. How did that feel in terms of, like, I could see that you're patient, so I appreciate that.
You mean the communication between us?
Yeah, in terms of the feedback.
Oh. Yeah,
feedback.
no, it's good, because even though sometimes I felt guilty that I wasn't doing everything that you told me to do, I also was listening to what you were saying and trying to find ways to improve upon it. So without that, I wouldn't have known what I needed to focus on, or been able to start making the steps I needed to improve.
Yeah. And I appreciate that you're actually coachable. You are coachable, and you know that. Because without so that's one of those, like, if you want to learn more, be coachable. I have my own coach. I know a lot already, but I'm like, I want to know more. I'm learning, I'm asking, and that's what she's doing as well.
And I like that the way that you were learning is one piece at a time. It's basically real time. You're not like going after some books or something, and then after a month you implement those books. You know, it's like, okay, I can't get my bottle out of the cage. What can I do to not have that problem? You know, like solving it as it happens.
Were you doing? I'm sure you're a smart woman. Were you doing a lot more reading besides all this communication already? Like researching, reading books?
Not necessarily books, but actually what I was going to say is the resources that you have available, the guides, the things like, in the various videos, access to that information, depending on what was going on. A lot of times you can find your answers. So, I mean, there was an opportunity. I think, like, for example, like the transition thing, I actually found a couple of really wonderful YouTube videos. I mean, that's why my transitions were actually pretty short, because I was extremely organized in where my stuff was, how it was laid out, what was on top, that kind of stuff. So I learned those kind of things from YouTube, but most of it, the other aspects, were trying to follow the links that you provided.
Okay. You're talking about this ones here. So, for example, bike portion, and then run.
Yeah.
Like this one. I think last time you thought that it was gonna rain. 70.3, and I gave you that.
Yeah.
You know, how to race triathlon when it's raining. All the tips.
Yep.
All the tips. It's basically all combination of our coaches, myself, of like how to go through, like, experience, not just the book. I mean, books are great, but who has time for books? What we've done is, with all the master classes, is that we've combined, what we do is that we invite expert or the best coach who will discuss that particular topic. And then we throw in experiences of what we learn ourselves as an athletes, and also coaching other athletes. Good. I'm glad that you find that helpful. Okay. All right. So one of the things also here is signing up for Olympic triathlon. So now, and then I wanted to bring this one up, okay, so that our athletes would also learn, okay, because it is a decision that needs to be, that's not that we don't take it lightly, because I agree with Barbara. So, like, basically, Barbara had not done Olympic distance. And we are looking at the calendar, as you guys can see, like, okay, we don't want her to travel so much. So travel, when picking another race or a B race, you don't want to be traveling so much. You don't want to disrupt the training. You don't want to just add just because to practice. You want to make sure that it blends in. The next thing, if you are to plan, a B race or an Olympic triathlon, okay, you want to make sure that it builds confidence, that you learn from it, rather than it takes your confidence down and it gets your mindset all like, am I ready? I messed up this, like, suddenly your mindset is all I'm talking about this if you're planning to have a B race few weeks prior to the A race. Because what we did is that I did suggest to Barbara to do her first Olympic triathlon 2 weeks prior to the 70.3. Someone who's already busy. I'm being unrealistic, like always. I said, like, Barbara, I have an idea that would help you. I think we need to go to this one. And that was the same one. So basically on March, I told her, Barbara, how about let's have you do an Olympic in 2 weeks? Okay. So that was that.
And what did you say?
No, I said no.
You did not like the idea.
So how did you end up doing it? What happened?
Because I figured that there was a logic to going through the experience, and I had to take a day off of work, and I figured because it was a 4-hour drive. It wasn't just like around the corner, but it was, I just figured, why not? I don't know. I just kind of said, what the heck? But it was tough. You talk about learning, though. I'll be honest with you. I went in with my normal, as if there's a normal for me, goggles they're like, I look like big bug eyes. They cover, and it was a very cloudy day. And I kind of almost like got lost on the swim. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I had a really bad swim, and I didn't think halfway through. I mean, I didn't think I was going to not make it, but I also it was really hard, and I kept losing the buoy. I wasn't sighting well. I got water in my goggles. I had to stop and take my goggles off and shake them out and put them back on and try to figure out where I was going. So there were, but I think what I learned from that was I bought new goggles that I tested out for leaks and made sure I was comfortable with, that were clear for the Ironman. Mm-hmm. And I adjusted things on how I was doing my sighting because of that race. So if I hadn't done it, those lessons wouldn't have been able to be things that I implemented during the actual Half Ironman.
Yep. Agree. And then again, it goes back to the same process, reflect. So that's what she did. So what she did is that she shared her race report for that particular race. It was basically somewhere here. And then so it's right here. And then what we did there is that, if I find it, if I don't find it, it's okay.
But
so what we did here, so she shared her race report here. The next thing is that, again, it goes back to the same process we're in. We look into it, we solve it together, we talk about it. Like, it is a challenge, we talk about it. We don't just ignore it. So if you guys have had the challenge in a particular race or a workout, we need to address that one. And again, that goes back to smart training, making the most out of your training. So right here, this is again, it goes back to the long conversation. Talk about so the gearing. And then the next thing is also the goggles, the sighting, like what would contribute to a faster swim. Basically, that was that.
And I want to know, those of you who are joining us, what challenges do you know that you need to be solving still before your big race?
Put that under the comment, because
let's see which challenges you're seeing already that could really mix up your race.
Yeah, because we do have several free trainings already, and what we can do is that we can give that to you. So just put that under the comment, what challenges you're still solving, because you got to solve it right now. That's what I would suggest. Okay. All right. So let me see. I think we got through basically most part. All right.
Yes. So I was wondering, Barbara, if you had to choose 3 things that you think made the biggest difference for you working together with the Feisty Fox team, what do you think would be those 3 top things?
Just having the structured workout that takes into consideration the 3 events in a way that allows you to continue to make progress with all 3 of them, kind of when you're running things together, mixing up the workouts and then in some cases combining, like when the swim and the run or the bike and the run. that was really helpful. Opportunity also to I think, like I said, the access to the material and the guides,
Okay.
and access to the team. I mean, one thing, I felt like no matter what, if I had a question, that I was getting an answer. I wasn't in a vacuum, right? That was really helpful. And then maybe just addressing when I had issues like with my shoulder or my knee, that things to do about it, ways to support it, and I don't feel like I ever had I had some soreness, and my shoulder is still a little cranky, but in general, I always felt like I had support for making sure I wasn't screwing anything up or causing a problem that would keep me from doing the 70.3.
Especially you just turned 60 and getting stronger even, right?
Yes.
This do you think that this is you're
I
much
think-
stronger than last year?
I think so. Stronger
Right?
than last year comparatively, no?
Stronger than
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
It was that year, I won't lie, so I mean, I'm getting back into shape that I'd lost a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna keep continuing to make progress from here too. So yeah,
Basically a comeback despite of all these challenges here. All right, so for everyone, this is all the challenges that she had gone through, and she still moved forward. Limited triathlon experience. She only had sprint, and that was 2 years ago. She said it was a casual thing. She got no Olympic experience, slow swimmer, and actually, again, no swimming. Or if that's you, a slow runner or cyclist, okay? Solo training, challenge, long break from swim, bike, and run, crazy work schedule, limited time to train, personal events. For her, it was the move. Weather, can't ride outdoors because of rain, challenging on swimming because of the cold open water swim, physical aches, tightness, neck, knee, deltoids, dealing with technology glitches. I mean, she still moved forward.
That's a lot, yes.
She still moved forward. No one's gonna stop her. She's unstoppable. She still did it. So like right here, first half Ironman. So what are you gonna do? And that's why we talked a lot about the challenges earlier, because what we did is that we identified the challenge. And I suggest for you to do the same thing. Identify the challenges and solve them. Do not be blindsided. Don't say like, oh, I'm just training, I got it done. Because if you did not solve it during training, it could potentially come up during the race.
So if you haven't put it in the comments what your challenges are, put them in the comments so you can see it, and then you can go after it.
Yeah. And also because you're gonna see like, oh, other people are actually dealing with it. Go ahead and put that in the comment, so we'll check it out, and we can also give you some free training resources. All right, put more time on your weaker sport. I had to make sure that Barbara is swimming. I gotta make sure no matter what. And she did. She had some traveling for work. She was swimming in hotel pool, which is really short, but she still was. She did bring her fans, while traveling. She do whatever it takes. Okay.
Nice.
Even if you have weaker sports, still go after it. This is the time for you to get stronger and be more confident on that sport. Don't train in pain. It's our rule in Feisty Fox coaching. Don't train in pain. What we do is instead address any physical discomfort, not even pain, even just a 1 out of 10. It's really nothing. We address that. We want to make sure that we address the weak area, and then we want to be proactive. We did talk about execute smart training, not just going after completing the distance. Okay. Instead, what we do is this: technique, speed, endurance, and race skills. Okay. And what Barbara had done also is that she had learned about several of the whys, the hows, because of the guys that she had mentioned. Okay. 5 pillars. We did talk about this one. Training. If you're only focusing on training, okay.
That's the swim, bike, and run.
Don't just stop with the training. Do your training nutrition so you can dial it in during training, and then apply that at the race. Body maintenance is being proactive, and that's the injury prevention, making sure that you don't get hurt, especially as you build up with the volume. mental fitness, going after it, still enjoying, having the balance. Last but not the least, race strategy. Okay. Hopefully I do this one correctly. You guys got that one? So put a screenshot, tell us your challenges, and let's go back. Well, Barbara, we are so proud of you. You are a 70.3 finisher. You've come a long way, and you're still riding, swimming, and running. I wonder what's next. Martial arts, you say?
Yeah, well, hope to get my black belt later this year, end of summer, early fall. And I've been actually looking at a 50K trail ultra.
Wow, nice, fun.
That's kind of, I've been looking at long duration, whether different races that are coming up, and working on maybe leg strength and my running a little bit to do some trail races. So that's kind of my.
Love it. Well, Barbara, we are so proud of you, Barbara. Keep it up. And for every one of you guys who have watched Barbara's story, who have been inspired, this is what we do in Feisty Fox Coaching. We help busy individuals crush their triathlon endurance goals, no matter what their skills or levels.
Yes, we love partnering with athletes who are excited about going after what they really want. Like what Barbara did. She wanted it.
She wanted it.
Yes.
She's very committed. So if you're that person, you want to get your goals, your dreams, your go-getter, you want that goal, and you want it to be strong and strong finish, not get hurt.
So if that's you, and if you're ready to do that, we're giving you an opportunity to chat with us face to face for 15 minutes. First come basis. If you want to save that spot, put #gameplan in the comments.
Yeah. And we don't sell anything there. We actually help you because we give you value, give you the next steps. If you guys have questions and we weren't able to answer today, just go ahead and continue to put those questions there, or you can put #gameplan and we can answer, like at least face to face so we can talk to you more. Is that good? All right. Well, let's go back to Barbara. Barbara, just last one. Yes. So what are the top 3 things that you would advise your old self before you reach out to us? For athletes who are in their 60s, who were thinking about 70.3, or maybe not even 60s, athletes who have been like not having activities, been thinking about 70.3, but there are a lot of challenges, which we've talked about today. What are the advices?
I think, for one, for me, I'm goal oriented, but I think it's important to identify challenges that are maybe one step beyond where you think you can be, and then go make them happen. I think it's important to stay flexible and mobile in general, not just strong as well, but I mean, making sure that you're doing all those things so that your regular everyday life is where you're able to do all the tasks, whether it's reaching for something or whatever. I think staying in shape supports that. And age is just seriously just a number. In my head, I'm 20s or 30s. I never know on any given day. Sometimes I act a little juvenile. So, but I never think that age means anything when it comes to it. Just go for it and do the best you can and stay in shape. And life's so much better when you can do anything you want.
Thank you for saying those. Seriously.
I think there's many athletes who needed to hear that.
I want to hear that too. Yeah. Age is only a number. You're crushing it. Sub-8 PR on the swim. Amazing. Well, really, really happy. Thank you so much for your time and all the insights that you've given us, for sharing your challenges and how you actually address them. Everyone, let's thank Barbara. Let's put #value. Till next week.
Yes, we're going to have another live training next week, probably around the same time.
Okay.
All right.
Till next week. Have a great week. Thank you, Barbara. Later. Bye. Bye, everyone.